Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, AuDii 3000, and this is episode 67! Hello, kings and queens, and welcome yet again to another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. I am so excited to be with you guys here this week. If you are listening to us on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, thank you so much. Shout out to you. If you are watching us on YouTube on WTW TV, shout out to you. Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's been having an amazing week. I have Hav in the building with me. Hav, say what's up to the people.
Yeah, dubs up, dubs up, dubs up.
I am not by myself. I am accompanied by Hav and you guys as well. I'm very excited because I have a really good episode planned out for you guys. I wanted to make it something that everybody just, how is it? They relate to. It's positive. It's a good episode. So you guys make sure that you stay for the duration of the episode. Hav, can you please let the people know, because this is WTW Saturdays and we dropped a new song, a new video, and a new podcast, which is this podcast. Hav, can you please let them know what song it is that we dropped today?
Spits in My Eyes, out now.
And it's the video and the song, right?
Correct.
So they can go to WTW TV, which they should be subscribed to, because they get the notification each and every single time that we drop a new video, a new song, a new podcast. Gang, gang. So that was, I'm sorry, what was it? It's In My, what?
In My Eyes. In
My Eyes by Spit. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. And then this is the episode that we have. I'm excited. I wanted to go ahead and apologize for last week because I was shining. My Fenty Beauty highlighter was blinding, y'all, and I apologize. I saw the playback of the episode, and I was just out here blinding these people, and I'm sorry if you had to go to the eye doctor after that, but your girl blended a little better today, so we good. If you are watching us on IGTV, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. And if you are here on IGTV, make sure that you go ahead and head on over to WTW TV. That way you can watch the rest of this episode. So I don't have my glasses on. I don't have my contacts on. So I'm going to be lifting up the paper so I can make sure that I get all of these things down here for you guys. Oh, before I go ahead and get started in what it is that I wanted to talk to you guys about, May 25th is the release date of Purple Label. You guys can go ahead and head on over to the Apple Store, iTunes Store, and you can pre-order it. Go ahead and support the artists that we have here on Worth the Wait Records. That project is by Hav and Laidback Sosa. So banger. If you guys have heard Temptations, Hennessy, and some of the other joints that they have together, then you know that this is going to be an amazing, amazing project. So we get right into the week rundown. And so this week, I had an amazing week. Hav, how about yourself?
It was awesome. It was pretty cool. I got a lot of work done, and I got to give back to the community and shit.
Oh, nice. My dog out here giving back to the community. It was him and his job that did that, so that was pretty cool. As a big sister, I was very proud of myself. I hope I don't forget this. But let me share this real quick before I go into what the week stuff. There was a story of this little kid who helped his sister from getting kidnapped. There was the great grandmother went to the hospital and went to the ER, and she went to go take a relative to the ER. And so what she did, she parked the car in front of the hospital, and she went inside with the relative, and somebody went in the car, and there was a brother and a sister in the car, and somebody got in the car and tried to steal the car and tried to keep the girl and push the little boy out. And then, so the little boy, what he did is that he helped his older sister get out of the car, and he saved her from getting kidnapped.
Oh, shit.
So it, automatically reminded me of you.
That was me and you.
That's me.
In the alternate universe.
Yeah, that was me. If that, thankfully, you and I have never had to experience anything like that, but that story, I heard that story, and I was just that's something that Hav would do. So, Hav is everything for me, you guys, if you haven't already noticed. He's my all. Okay, so this week, Aisha Curry went on to Red Table Talk. Well, it was this week that it released. Everybody saw it. It went crazy. If you haven't already seen it, just go ahead and head on over to Red Table Talk and watch the whole episode. She got a lot of backlash for what she said about, I guess, like not wanting attention, but like dudes to be looking at her, in a respectful way. It's hard to say dudes to be looking at her in a respectful way because it's like, it's a contradiction, I guess, in my head. And I didn't really want to talk about what she is saying because for me, I see what she is saying. I understand it. I empathize with it. And then I empathize with even Steph. Like, I understand that, like, maybe him as a man or even them as a relationship, they've talked about it. I feel like everybody should just leave her alone and look at the bigger picture and look at the bigger message that is being sent. And that is that men and women are misunderstood. What do I mean by that? So we have Aisha, who is out here, first of all, being very, 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 like, what is it? She's very bold to, go out there and say all of the things that she said. Like, I have a podcast, and every single week I come on here and there's certain things that I say that I'm like, I don't even know how I said that. So I know in her position, which is a higher position, she, for her to say that and then get the backlash and all that stuff. But then there's like men and the way that they feel about what she said and how like they don't understand women and this and that. And then there's women that they don't agree with what she said, and then there's women that empathize with it. And it just brought me to the point that as humans, we're just all misunderstood, and it's hard for us to empathize with one another because we're not listening and we're only jumping to conclusions. So I please recommend to go ahead and use this Aisha Curry story, but to try to understand like what's going on with the opposite sex. You know what I mean? Try to, like, that's one of the reasons why I love being around the boys, and one of the reasons why I loved going to the NWO podcast was because of that specific reason, was because I get to understand what it is that men go through and how they get treated and how their emotions are like, they can't show them because of that's how they were raised, or because they've shown too much emotion and they get called out on it. It's so much. And it's like, there's times that like I see a man and I'm like, King, let me just hug you, because like I know I now understand. I'm trying to understand more and more what it is that men go through. So that's something that this Aisha Curry situation brought to me. And I was just, because I saw how men were reacting to it and how they felt, and what if a man were to say that? And to me, that was just like, all right, so what we need to do is that we just need to understand each other more. We need to empathize with each other more, and we need to move forward as just a whole altogether. And so speaking of the NWO podcast, we were there this past last week for their what is it? Which 56. Episode? 56? No, 59th episode, which is Space Bay. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check that episode out. It was hilarious. You guys got to hear me talk a little bit about it last week. I think we talked a little bit touched up on what we were talking about there. The episode was a lot of fun. I heard it, and I really want to go back. We talked about like the best Michaels, the Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan were definitely brought up. Hav was there, Spitz was there, and it was fun. Hav, what was your favorite part of the NWO podcast?
The song. We got AuDii and this bitch with
me. Because they do like an intro song, which the intro song is super duper catchy, but it says the N-word. And
we're gonna leave that to y'all.
And we gonna leave that to y'all. Like, plus Ben.
Hey, y'all kill it.
Ricky and Prince.
Go listen to the NWO podcast.
Yes, go listen to the NWO podcast so you can hear what song we're talking about. But this is a song that they do every single episode, and it was funny because I did the Plus does the like intro of the song, and it's pretty much like where the pennies. And then Ricky, he's saying but you know what I found out? That's actually Creole that he's saying.
I was thinking that too.
And so I found out that it means like we here. Like we here to stay and like all this stuff. I had to ask my homegirl. I'm like,
I
girl,
got
what they saying?
I got spits in this bitch with me.
Yeah, and then they did like they added our names to it, and it was pretty cool. So y'all make sure that y'all go ahead and check that out. You can just go to Apple. They're on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and you just
Spotify. Anywhere you listen to podcasts.
yeah, anywhere you listen to podcasts, they're there. It's the NWO podcast. And yeah, so go ahead and check them out and give them love and show them mad love. That episode 59 was awesome. The other episodes I know are amazing. Shout out to Bennessy, Ricky the Prince, plus Vegan Trap Lord, and shout out to Vegans Alight, which is the spot that they held it at, and it's also one of their sponsors. So shout out to everybody there. Thank you guys again for having us. I appreciate y'all so much. The love is real.
Thank you.
The love is real. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into something that is it's a little crazy. As a woman, this is something that I have seen other women go through. I've never had to go through this myself, and I have thought about this before, like if the time came for me to make a decision, like if I were to get pregnant, like an unplanned pregnancy, I used to think about like what would I do, and I knew that this was one of my options, and I'm talking about abortions. This past week, Georgia passed an act, which is called the Life Act, which is it's called the HB 481. That's sauce. And it's called LIFE, which is Living Infants Fairness and Equality Act, and it's an abortion ban in Georgia. And one of the things that I saw that I was pretty crazy to me, and I thought it was insane when I read this. Women who violate the law could be subject to life in prison. So if a woman decides that she cannot bring a child into this world, and she decides that she wants to get rid of this child, that word sounds so bad, but if she decides that that's something that she wants to do, the state of Georgia will put them in prison for doing so. So when that happens, like, that to me is insane. So when I read that, I was just like, they tripping over there in Georgia. So it can be life in prison. Some other things that I found out is that women could go to jail if they don't have proof of like if they have a miscarriage, if they don't have proof that there was reasons for the miscarriage, then they can go to jail because of that. Like, they have to show proof. Like, not only did they just miscarry their child that they were possibly excited for and probably dreamt of their whole lives, but if they lose this child in the state of Georgia, they have to show proof that it wasn't like because of drugs, or it wasn't like on, like, you know, it wasn't on purpose, it wasn't like maliciously done. And so one of the exceptions that they do have is that it's for pregnancies caused by incest and rape. So women that, you know, were that it's by incest and by rape, then those two, I guess, groups are not like, they're like, y'all, you can go ahead and do it pretty much. And one of the things that stood out to me the most in this article that I read was that it was the criminalization of women's bodies. So now you're turning a woman's body that not only gives birth, carries kids for 9 months, delivers the baby, but now you're criminalizing it. You're putting it in a position that if a woman decides that she wants to do something to her body, she's going to go to jail. Now you're making a body a criminal. Like, that's insane to me. That I like I said, I have never had the opportunity or have never had to make the decision, but I do know women that have had to make that decision, and I know how hard it is, and I know women who have gone through it and who haven't been the same since. And I'm not saying that like, for me, I just want women to have their own choice, their own decision, like, because it's our body. If you go and you meet with your doctor and your doctor says, okay, yes, like, if this is what you want to do, then go ahead, then I feel like those are the only two people that should be in charge of it. So That's that on that. How do you have anything to say about that?
I think women should have the choice, and
Yeah.
that's their body.
Yeah.
They have the decision.
I find it in
Great. I think it's insane.
I yeah, like I want to use a different word, but it's like that like I'm like, what? You're going to tell me what to do with my body? Like,
Yeah, and that leads me to the conversation. I don't mean to steer this one way, but the whole conversation with like laws in different states. It's so weird. Like
yeah.
you get caught with a gun here, it's okay. New York, it's bad. You smoke weed here, but in Cali, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool. It's
Abortion, and then like now, like that's
Isn't
part
it
of
the
mix.
United
Yep. Mm.
States of America? Not sounding too united to me if we talking real talk. I don't know the laws of abortion in Florida, but I do know that there isn't a ban. And I know that it is the woman's choice. I know that there's a specific time frame that a woman has it, that if she decides that she wants to do it. But we're literally like, when I heard that it was in Georgia, I was like, bro, Georgia's right there.
Yeah.
Georgia's like our upstairs neighbors. Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Facts.
It's insane how that's so different. And on a lighter note, because I am obsessed with this album. I talked to you guys about it last week. I told you when it was going to drop. And I listened to it as soon as that motherfucker dropped. And I am talking about the Ari Lennox album, which is Shea Butter Baby. Let me tell you guys about this album now. Okay, so I've had it on repeat. Literally, the last song finishes and I press play again. My coworker probably knows all the songs and can't stand me or loves the album. I sent it to her.
No in between.
Yeah, yeah. It's either you don't or you do. It is what it is, baby girl. But I've been playing it nonstop. I want to give a really big shout out to Scotty Beam because she is the one who promoted it. I guess when she first heard it or heard about it, and she said that it was going to be good. And when I saw that tweet, I was like, I need to listen to that album. I also saw like Ashley Outrageous promoting it as well. Shout out to those two queens. Those are the queens that I look up to. They're both in New York and they're both in media. Ashley Outrageous was like interviewing Lucky Day, and I was just like, that's her lucky day. That's gonna be me one day though. It's all good. But this Ari Lennox album, how many times have you heard me to tell you to listen to that album?
Every single fucking day.
Shout out to Dreamville. This Ari Lennox is the the first lady of Dreamville. And something that I've been describing this album is that it's magic. And the producers and the engineers and like everything, like the instrumentation, like her voice, the way that it sounds in your like in the headphones in the car, like Jesus, this CD is like, it just oozes soul. It oozes a feeling, and the skits that she has are so beautiful, insightful. Some of them are funny. Some of them, like one, she's talking about checking garbanzo beans. The other one, she's talking about how a kid from when she was 7 years old like came back up into her life on some like, didn't you have a crush on me when when we were like in elementary school. She also has like a song called New Apartment, which is like a woman having her own apartment and wanting to do what she wants to do. And she has this one song called BMO, which is Break Me Off. That one's a good one. I love that song. I love the whole, I can't pick a favorite one. I have two that like I always go to, which is BMO, Break Me Off, and FaceTime. And FaceTime, because it just like, it has this feeling like. And then Up Late, oh my God. Listen, just go listen to the whole album and put it on repeat as many times as possible. I've like meditated to it. I've ran. Guys, I ran. That's like my highlight of the week. Like, I ran. Let me finish talking about the album, but I was running listening to this album, a soul album, and I'm running and I'm stretching to it and I'm working to it and I'm just like all day. So shout out to Dreamville for having this album drop the time that it dropped. I was going to say how one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of some of these like labels, like they have like a female lead. Like how TDE has SZA. And then we have, Ari Lennox, who's under Dreamville, and she's like the leading lady of Dreamville. And I find that so beautiful. I love that they're both beautiful Black queens who have this voice, this beautiful voice that oh, it's just, I can't even say the word. It's like a feeling. For those of you who are listening to us like on Spotify and SoundCloud, like I'm just swaying from side to side from how good both of those women's voices make me feel. And so that's something that I was noticing. I was just like, okay, they both have leading ladies. And then so it puts it into a competition. Not a competition, but it's like, ooh, SZA came out with an album and this, and that. And she was a leading lady. And then now we have Dreamville and she's a leading lady. And so.
You heard it here first. SZA versus Ari.
No, it's not. Like because Hav asked me about, was it like, is it her control moment? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's like it's her control moment, but I feel like they're so both in their own lane that I couldn't compare them.
At least listening to what I heard, the little bit I heard, I think, yeah, she has her own type of style.
It's like, it's dope, guys. It is super, super dope. I want to make sure that I touched everything on that album that I wanted to touch about, because it's really good. It's a really good album, you guys, and make sure that you go ahead and check it out. Cole's coming out with an album.
Oh, that's for sure happening.
I don't know when, but it's happening. Because Schoolboy Q just dropped a project. Ari Lennox just dropped a project. JID's definitely dropping a project very soon. Cole it's already been a year since he dropped his last project, because he dropped it on 420. So he's for sure coming out with something soon. I want to say June, but I don't want to lie. And I don't know Cole like that. I'm not even in the industry to be making predictions like this. But after the Ari Lennox album, I was just like, yo, Cole's coming out with an album and y'all better be ready. And I brought up JID for this specific reason. This dude is a monster when it comes to features.
That's a great picture.
Like he is a monster when it comes to features. He is featured on Boogie's album, which is an amazing album. You guys have heard me praise this album when it dropped, because it's a really, really good album. That was another one that I had on repeat. He's also on the Mariba album. That was another project that I had that I still have on repeat. So he's featured on that one, and he's featured on the Ari Lennox album as well. And that's another banger. Like every single one that he's featured in all the projects that I just named, all of them are bangers. All of them are awesome. And I know he's in the studio working, so I'm excited for his project because it's going to be good. But I had to just point that out about how my dog is out here, the king of features right now. Because I don't know anybody else is doing features and just murking them the way that he's murking them. He's a rapper singer.
Kind of both, yeah.
Kind of both. Like he's in those realms, I guess you can say. So you guys know that I love watching interviews, and I love interviews. I love giving them. I love doing them. I love being the one to get interviewed. I love all of them. And so this past week, I was watching the Nipsey Hussle interview for the Breakfast Club, and I just got really sad. It was really sad. It just made me sad. Like, I'm listening to him, and I'm listening to him, like, dropping all of his knowledge and, like, talking about being independent, and just, he inspired the fuck out of me because we're independent. And I just was watching the interview, and I even told my coworker, I'm like, man, I can't even watch this anymore because I'm just so sad. Like, I'm just, I wasn't old enough when Tupac died, or when Biggie died, and I didn't know the effect that it had on, like, their fans and, like, all that stuff. Obviously, I know that they felt loved, but this is, like, how I feel like with that, like, with like, Nip's passing. It's kind of like, man, we really lost a good one, and, you know, his projects, and something that Ishi was saying, shout out to Ishi from the Liquid, that's my friend. Something that he was saying was that you listen to his discography now once he has passed, because, you know, it's like one of the things that we tend to do when someone passes, and it's like you sometimes listen to their music and you're just like, damn, I feel bad that I didn't listen to this music when he was alive. And that has happened to a lot of us, because his projects are really, really good. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm pretty sure some of you have like stumbled upon an interview, or you have stumbled upon a video of his. And I know I'm not the only one who's feeling this way, because it's something that a lot of us have been feeling, especially with a lot of new media that has been coming out about him and just the legacy that he left. Again, we're gonna send our prayers and everything and positive energy to his family, to the kids. I know that his sister is trying to take custody of his daughter, so that way she can provide an amazing future for her. So many positive vibes to his family, and we miss you, Nip. You a real one. And it's gonna take some time for me to watch an interview of yours and really gain some nuggets, because your girl don't want to be crying. I don't want to be crying when I'm watching, some interviews or whatnot. So last week we talked about like toxic traits of our own. Traits that, we don't necessarily know are toxic until we look at them, we kind of see what's going on. And so this week, I wanted to dig deeper into my psyche. Now, something that I'm super obsessed with is getting to know more about myself. Now, the reason why I want to get to know myself more is because I want to fall in love with myself more. I feel that, yes, I love myself, but I want to know truly who I am. I truly want to know what makes my brain tick. And so this week, one of the things that I discovered is some of the patterns that I tend to do. Patterns that I tend to do in relationships, both romantic relationships and just platonic relationships and just regular relationships. I noticed that there's a lot of patterns that I tend to kind of like lean on. Now, I got this app it's called The Pattern. They're not paying me for this yet, but The Pattern, this app is really, really good, and it really breaks down the patterns that you do pretty much. And one of the patterns that I didn't know that I did was that I'm a nurturer. So I'm very nurturing, and I'm very I love to love. So I love to make sure that the people that I love are doing good. And sometimes I don't take care of myself. So what I noticed, and I'm just like, this has been something that in some relationships has literally broken them, because I have been the one to just love so much, and then I expect a certain love in return. And since I don't get that love, I get frustrated. I end up walking away. I end up not being friends with that person anymore, X, Y, and Z. And so that's the toxic trait, but it comes from the pattern. So I want you guys to understand, and I'm going to be a lot more prepared next week when it comes to breaking down patterns, because I really wanted to understand the behavioral kind of notions that go on in your mind when you're going through your own patterns. I would recommend to get the app, honestly. That way you understand your patterns more, because I feel like that's the only way that you'll truly get to do it. And something else that I noticed is that ask yourself, how do you feel? How do I feel? Oh, I feel this way. I feel X, Y. It's easier for you to understand your patterns when you start asking yourself a little bit more questions. That way you get to really find out who it is that you are, who it is that you're going to be, and not so much necessarily dwell on those things. You know what I mean? You have a plan and you have a future, but you also have a past. And I can't see that, huh? Your girl got her glass.
Warriors won!
Oh, the Warriors fucking won! You heard it here, you guys. The Warriors won. And yes, we are shooting this on Friday. But it's still WTW Saturday. And back to the patterns. And now to your regular schedule. It's funny because I've always wanted to work in news and do those cool slogans, and I try to do them as much on the show, but I am such a goofball that they never come out professional. They just come out this girl is just a clown, which is a pattern of mine. But yeah, so I discovered a couple of patterns of mine. I recommend that you go ahead and discover some patterns of yours. That way you can break that cycle. Something that I always preach on this podcast is breaking the cycle of your mental, of the what's going on in your family, of what has happened in your life. You can break that cycle. I promise you can break it. You just have to recognize certain things, fall in love with yourself, ask yourself how you feel consistently. Like, be like, girl, how you feel? Boy, king, queen, how we feeling today? You know, like how we feel right now, how we feel in this moment. Like right now, how do I feel? I feel blessed. I feel like I'm in the moment right now. I feel like I'm connecting with you guys right now. I feel like nothing can stop me. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel right now. I might not feel like this in another 30 minutes because I'm gonna be tired. But that's how I feel right now. And that's the only thing that I can do, the only thing that I can go forward with. So guys, this is your homework for the week. Recognize your patterns. That way you can get better at them and you can recognize the toxic ones and you can become a better person. Y'all know I stay trying to make you guys, myself, the best versions of ourselves, because listen, that's the only way that we're gonna get better in this life is by that. So, we've had a lot of questions of the weeks. One of them is about shooting your shot. Ladies, sliding in the DM. Yeah. So sliding in the DM was a question that I asked a while ago. And I want to let y'all know that your girl's been practicing. Your girl's been out here in these streets. I'm trying. I'm trying because you know they say, what is it? The shots that you don't make. The shots that you don't take. I don't listen. I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't want to mess up.
You only miss the shots you don't take.
You only miss the shots you don't take. All right, have our quote correspondent in the building. Yeah. So that's something that I was practicing because like I can't be out on this podcast and telling you guys to go ahead and shoot your shot, and I'm not doing that, ladies. It's not that hard. Just be honest. Just be yourself. Just go out there and just, tell that boy he smell good. Or tell him that you want to get to know him. Or whatever. Like, just do it. Like, don't be afraid. Shoot your shot. Put yourself in a position to, for them to shoot their shot. Because sometimes, when you shoot your shot very innocently, then, they kind of see it. So into this same conversation, I wanted to talk about something that is so funny that us women do. Now, I don't want to say I don't want to say all women, but it could be a lot of us that feel this way. Maybe you can let me know if another girl has done this for you, done this to you, I guess. Hav is over there looking at me mad crazy, so I can't even talk right now. But so a dude tells you the truth. He like curves you, but in like the most respectful way possible, and you don't believe him. like you don't believe them. Like they tell you the truth, and you're just like, nah, that's not the truth. He's not, that's not why he doesn't want to get to know me or whatnot. That's one of the funniest things. And then I noticed that happens because I did it. Someone told me the truth, and because I didn't like it, there you go, that's a pattern. Because I didn't like it, I was just like, he's lying. There's no way. He's lying to me. Why would he lie to me? And then I started going back and I started doing the math, and I'm just like, no, girl, you're just crazy. You gotta relax. It's not, you gotta bring it down. So, oh, and by the way, I talk to myself like this all the time. If you have been a fan of the show, shout out to you. I appreciate you. You know that this is just how I am. If you have had conversations with me, you know that this is how I am. I'm trying to become a better person, but sometimes, man, my mind and my mouth, they just don't catch up sometimes. And so shit just goes out. Shout out to Gemini season. We coming. I don't even know what I think it starts like next week. We're like 10 days away from Gemini season. So I'm excited. Shout out to all my Geminis. I fucks with y'all. We got a lot of greats in this In this beach. There you go. That's what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys update you guys on my shooting my shot. My percentages have gone up. I would say 2%. Because your girl's not out here shooting like that either, because I don't like every person that's on social media or when I see them in person. Oh, guys, make sure that you guys go ahead and check out our behind the scenes videos. And the team have been putting a lot of work into these behind the scene videos for you guys, so you guys can see guys, I'm one of the people that works hard on this behind the scenes videos as well. I'm the one who be getting the angles. I'm the one who be getting the behind the scenes because I'm not in front. So because I'm not in the front, one of them is recording. Guys, if you haven't already checked out our videos, like, we shoot our videos ourselves. Of course, we get some help sometimes from like Ishi and Yan. Shout out to both of them because they have always helped whenever it is that we need it. But we shoot our videos ourselves. We do the behind the scenes ourselves. We are the label. So yeah, make sure that you guys go ahead and check the behind the scenes out. You just dropped one for which ones, Hav?
Say again?
Which ones did you drop the behind the scenes for?
Oh, Price on My Head.
Price on My Head. And Always, which that one's the video that Ishi is in. 96 Martin. The song is produced by One Way Dex. So shout out to that song. So we have that behind the scenes, and then the behind the scenes for the video for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have that up probably Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, so make sure that you guys go ahead and listen. If you are already here, that means you already subscribed, and if you ain't subscribed, then you need to put us on mini player and subscribe. Oh wait, they don't even need to do the mini player. It's on the same screen. I'm tripping. It's because I be using that mini player a lot. It's because I don't know if you knew, but with the mini player, and this is for people that are watching us on YouTube, guys that are watching us on Spotify and all this stuff. When you use YouTube, you can put it on a mini player and you can still search for something. There you go. So you can go ahead and search one of our videos, and that way you have it queued up, and bam, it's there. But yeah, so go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you're listening to us or listening to us on any of those other places. Because I just noticed that I said listening to us and watching to us, and I'm just like, I need to get it together. Claudia, get it together. AuDii, get it together. I wanted to shout out my shirt real quick. I wanted to wear this shirt because I just feel so inspired from the live podcast, and I'm still inspired, and it was a week ago, and I'm still inspired, and I cannot wait to have my own live podcast and have like a crowd and just like cool shit like that, and like get y'all shirts like these that are cool for my ladies, for my dudes. And y'all know that we have our own shirts here on Worth the Wait Records. We have La Vita e Bella shirts available for all people. We have all sizes available for women, ladies. I tell y'all every single episode, y'all can cut this up into a little crop top. You can cut a little. Listen, there's a lot of YouTube videos that can help you with that. So while you're ordering your shirt, you can go look at a YouTube video so you can learn how to do what you got to do with the shirt. It also looks cute normal. And then for dudes, I told y'all, like, listen, red and blue, it matches with everything, and it's neutral. It's neutral if you know what I'm talking about. So go ahead and head on over to WTWrecords.com. There you'll be able to find this shirt that I just showed you guys. You'll be able to find the WTW shirts, the sweaters, Ambition Hour podcast shirts, as well as the dub capsules. Dub capsules come in clutch every single time. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check and head on over to that site. That way you guys can get all things WTW. Guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I haven't ironed my hair in a very long time. Since October of last year, from October of last year till now, I've only ironed my hair one time. So shout out to me. Javier doesn't know what, like, I'm like so excited. Like, it's okay. So pretty much what this is for the men that are listening to the show. Shout out to you kings that listen to the show. I appreciate y'all with y'all fine selves. And shout out to the beautiful queens that are team natural out here that show me that I need to do my hair natural more. So shout out to the kings and queens that watch the show. Love you guys. Um, so I'm making sure that I'm keeping my hair very natural. I'm making sure that I'm keeping it very healthy. I switched to all organic shampoo, dry leave-in conditioner, and I'm just like making sure that I'm taking care of my hair, that I'm taking care of like just like the growth and everything. And I wanted to shout out my beautiful black queens because of your guys' Instagram videos on doing your natural hair. I just was so inspired to do the same for my hair. I do not have the same texture hair, but I do like to protect my hair, and I like to make sure that it's nice and like protected and like pretty, and it looks healthy, and I've never really had a problem with it not looking healthy, but I think that it could be more healthy. I can do more to make it better and to just get these waves even more poppin'. Oh, guys, you probably don't notice, but I finished The Notebook, not the movie. I finished The Notebook for all the episodes. Like, I never finished notebooks, and I finished The Notebook that I write all of the notes cuz I like writing it instead of like on the notes in the phone. I don't know, I feel like once it's written, it's like it's there. It's important.
It's like a big deal.
It's like a big deal. It's like it's gonna happen. So I finished the other one, and I was just like so excited. I was so happy. I was like, oh, you're gonna finish a notebook. And I have a million notebooks. I love notebooks. I'm so obsessed with them. But I just wanted to share that tidbit with you guys. So this is a new notebook, guys. Let me present you guys the new notebook. This is where all of the magic will happen. You know what's crazy is that the notes from episode 2 are actually in here.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. That means that I switched notebooks in between in between episodes. Okay. So last week I shared with you guys five reasons why solitude will help you become successful. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wanted to bring you guys something else. I want to end the episodes with just encouragement, with words of wisdom, with like power, okay? And I'm not talking about the show, you guys. I'm talking about power within, okay? So this week I have the 5 best ways to motivate yourself, okay? So number 1 is the 5-second rule. If you have it's my own damn handwriting, and your girl can't read that shit. All right, let's start this all over again. Okay, so number 1, 5-second rule. If you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. So it's pretty much, you think of something, you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you go do it. Doesn't that sound bomb? Like, the example that I saw that they use on the website, and I got this from success.com, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. I didn't make this list up, guys. I'm sharing it with you. Pretty much what it was just like, oh, that you go to like a bar or something and you see a cute girl, and so you think to yourself, oh, that's a cute girl, and then you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you go talk to her, type of thing. You know what I mean? A lot of the times we don't do things because we're scared. And then so to me, like what I've done sometimes is that like I'll have an instinct on to do something, and I'll literally wait like 2 days to do it. Like, how does that even make sense? Like your passion or the way that you would have presented it maybe like 2 days ago isn't the same as you would have, it's more rehearsed, it's more planned, it's not real. It's like, so just follow your instinct, count to 5, and just fucking do it. Number 2, you need to bathe more in motivation. So one of the things that you can do is you can make yourself a vision board. I was having a conversation with Yan, shout out to Yan's. And she was saying how you can have a vision board, but there has to be things in your vision board that are tangible within a year. That way you are accomplishing them. So I had I made one of the, it's not a mistake because at the end of the day it was still beautiful, but I had a vision board that had certain things of like of where I wanted to go and like all this stuff, and it was like that was not happening that year. You know what I mean? Because financially I was in a rut. Financially, like your girl was struggling. You would have to go back and check like those episodes where I talk about that. But so making a vision board is important. That way you see that all the time. And another thing as well is positive messages. Something that I do in my office is that I have like a board and I put positive messages. I put sticky notes and I put positive messages. I talk to myself and I do affirmations, and just like you have to like just be motivated. Like it says here to bathe yourself in motivation, and I don't like it's simply that. It's simply just bathe yourself in motivation. Any and everything that can motivate you, just go ahead and do it, and talk yourself through it. If it's your first time doing something like that, like trying to motivate yourself, or you lost all that motivation, just try doing that. Just try with affirmations, try with positive, quotes and stuff like that. You can go to Google and literally Google positive quotes and you're good.
You saw the sheet that I have up on the refrigerator?
Yeah, I read it I read it every morning. I read it every day actually. Like every day, more than like once a day. I think it's beautiful. Thanks for that. So the third one is chunk it out. Chunk it down into a checklist of actions that need to be completed. It makes it less scary. So let's say that you have a goal and this goal seems insane. If you break it down and you make a list and you chunk it together, and put it and bust it into like parts, then it's not going to be as scary. You'll be able to accomplish everything that is on the list. You'll be able to look at it and you'll be able to move forward and see what it is that you need to change, adjust, or what not. So just chunk it out, make a list, makes it less scary, and you can go ahead and do it without, and you do it with more motivation because you don't see it as you don't see the whole big picture. Because sometimes when we see like everything, we be like, y'all, nah, I can't do that shit. It ain't happening, not today. I'm too tired for that. But when you do it, like you break it down into little chunks, I know that you'll be able to go ahead and do it. So if you've been trying to clean out that garage, chunk it out part by part. Number 4, play that funky music. And this is my favorite one. Why? Because I fucking love music. Music is my friend. Music is the best thing ever. Music can control your emotions. Something that you can do is you go ahead and make a playlist. You make a nice little playlist that has all your favorite songs, some Beyonce in there, get some, I don't know who else. It's just the first person that I thought. I was about to give y'all some, we can put some Ari Lennox in there. We can put some, Mariba in there. We can put some Tank and the Bangas. Like, we can put some Meek. Like, I can be here, like, I have playlists, actually. You can follow me on Apple Music, AuDii _3000, and check out my playlist. I have this one playlist called Backing It Up that apparently a lot of people are loving. So go ahead and check it out. Yeah, just play music. It's going to motivate you. It's going to motivate you to become better. Of course, it depends on the music that you're listening to. If you're listening to some shit that's telling you something negative, then obviously it's not going to be positive for you. So listen to some positive shit that's going to make you happy. It's going to make you dance. It's going to make you feel something. That's going to motivate you. You can listen to that song Motivation by Kelly Rowland. Baby, I'm be your motivation. Damn, that's that song right there. That's the song that you can put on the playlist. And the last one is talk to a you expert. Say affirmations, which I talked about earlier. And it's pretty much like it's up to me to change myself. So it's up to you to change yourself. If you feel like you're lacking motivation, it's up to you to change that. It's up to you to take that into your own hands and to find the motivation that it is that you need and to affirm the power that you have. Remember I was talking to you guys about power earlier? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But you can go ahead and say affirmations and read positive quotes all day if you would like. But if none of this is backed by action, then nothing is going to get done. So you can have the motivation, you can play the music, you can chunk it out, You can, what's the other ones? You can do the 5 second rule. Well, the 5 second rule is action. That's why it's number one. But with all the positivity and all those quotes, like, you want to go ahead and take action. So take action. Be motivated. Move forward. Just do it. Just like this past couple of weeks, like, I was not feeling motivated at all to work out for some odd reason. Like, I would just think about it and I'm like, bro, nah, I'm not trying to work out. And I had to recognize, like, why are you being like that? Like, you love to work out. Like, you love doing that. Like, why are you losing motivation? And then I went to the park and I was just like, you know what? I need to get out of this funk. I need to, like, be motivated. And I motivated myself and I talked to myself because sometimes, like, I gotta tell myself, like, girl, you tripping. Like, you're tripping. And this week I did talk about this earlier, that I ran. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, shout out to everybody who follows me on Instagram. Ambition, no, that's the podcast. AuDii Ambition, that's my personal Instagram. You guys know that I got injured in my hip or whatnot, and it made it that I couldn't run. So at least that's what my physical therapist told me. And so I ran yesterday and I ran today, and I feel fine. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. But I feel fine right now, and I'm really excited because your girl the good Lord said, let my child run, and I ran. I did what the Lord told me to do. So hopefully I can keep this motivation going. Hopefully I can give you guys some new inspiration on what can motivate you to go ahead and finish this year. We're about to get into June, guys. That means that we only have 6 months left in the year. So let's make it the best rest of the year. Why not? Oh, so Hob, I was thinking about getting lighters for Worth the Wait. And I think that we're going to get these things done for you guys. So if you guys want lighters, I want you guys to leave comments below. So that way we know that it's something that you like. Who doesn't want a lighter though? I know I want a lighter. A little dub lighter. A little dubber. Hav, is there anything that we are missing? Oh, I know something that we're missing. It's the Met Gala. The Met Gala was this past weekend. And it was cool. I got to see some of the red carpet. I got to see Kim come out. I got to see, which she looked awesome. Kanye was there. Kylie was there. Everybody looked awesome. I don't really have a favorite. I just like seeing the red carpet, and I just love the glamour and the makeup and all of that stuff. If you guys don't know what the Met Gala is, it's like a fundraiser, and it's invite only. A lot of the designers, they get like people and dress them up, and then they go to this event, and then they promote, their line or whatnot. But yeah, so the Met Gala was this past week, and that was pretty cool. Hav, do you have anything? No. Guys, does this mean that we are done? Let me just make sure. Let me go through my notes because your girl's a little blind. I might have missed something. So I wanted to let you guys know that I haven't had a guest in a while. I think the last guest that we had was Detta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Detta. Detta is from Worth the Wait Records, and I kind of want to do a couple more episodes dolo. I really like it, and it's something that I always need practice with. Like, if you guys have seen from like beginning episodes, and you guys can see that I have definitely gotten better at what I do, because your girl was, you know what, I'm not even gonna be that hard on myself. I always felt that I was good, and I always felt like my voice was good, and I always felt like what I was doing was good. That's why a lot of the times when like people like tell me, they're like, oh, what do I do to start a podcast? Listen, what you do to start a podcast is you start it. You start with the vision, you come up with a plan, and you attack that plan like with no fear. That's something else that I gonna close it out with. Is like live without fears. Like, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have a passion, then go ahead and head first to those dreams, and just don't be afraid to do that, because once you start limiting yourself, it just, bro, life is just not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for those around you. And it's just, man, I swear, if I were to have acted on fear when it came to this podcast, like, we wouldn't be 67 episodes in. Like, I've spoken about how I had people say that I should practice, or I've even had people say that I should just go work for radio, and like, I don't know, it's so different when it's just what you want, and when you just go after what it is that you want to do, and you just do it without any fears. There's time, guys, there's times where I do this podcast, and I've shared this with you guys before, where I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Y'all not even in front of me. Y'all not even in front of me. The people who are in front of me are people that I see every day and I'm super comfortable with. But guess what? I still get nervous. I still get scared. There's sometimes when I say certain things that I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get because of cancel culture, bro. I'm terrified of saying certain things because of that, and I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Of course, I'm not going to say anything crazy, because I also don't think crazy shit like that either. But I'm going to, like, be a little less fearless when it comes to saying certain things. So, if anything that we talked about on today's episode sparked something in you, possibly you would like to speak on, have a question about, please go ahead and drop a comment below. Let us know. I would love to, hear what you guys have to say. Make sure that you guys go ahead and head on over to WTWrecords.com. That way you guys can get all things WTW. If you are not following us already on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to your podcast, go ahead and follow us, subscribe to us. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, hi. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell.
And if you stay this long, you're the real MVP.
Yeah, and if you're watching the episodes for some time, I appreciate that, because your girl out here really chasing these dreams. You heard? All right. Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Ambition Hour podcast. This is your girl, AuDii 3000. This is episode 67, and we out.